It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, COL 9 presents the Dodgers as they take on the Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. Game 2 of the 3-game series between the two teams, and the Dodgers have the overwhelming edge. They've beaten the Rockies 9 out of 10 and 5 straight here at Dodger Stadium. But when we said 9 out of 10, that means the Dodgers actually lost a game to Colorado, and the winning pitcher of that game for the Rockies is on the mound tonight. That would be right-hander Jason Marquis with a record of 9-5, a veteran who has certainly been around. Chad Billingsley, another 9-game winner, will be on the mound for the Dodgers with a record of 9-3. As for the Dodgers, as they slowly get to the halfway point in the season, they are 7 games in front of the Giants, 8.5 in front of the Rockies. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. The Dodgers and the Rockies in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Youngster down on the field reminding us it's time for Dodger baseball, and it should be another good one with the Rockies and the Dodgers rolling all around Dodger Stadium last night, and the Dodgers wind up winning it 4-2. For the Dodgers, they continue to play great ball at home. They've now had 9 walk-offs, 4 of them by Andre Ethier. One was a single, another a double, and Andre also has 2 home runs. So it has not only been a very successful team, it has been a highly dramatic team. And, of course, no team knows it better than the Colorado Rockies. And for the Dodgers, they have beaten the Rockies 9 out of 10, 5 straight here. Even though the Rockies have been playing good ball, they've won 9 out of 12 and 20 of the last 24. With Jim Tracy at the helm, here are the names on his batting card for tonight. Seth Smith will start off in left field, Clint Barmas at second base, Todd Helton, Brad Hobb, Troy Tulowitzki, all familiar at their positions. Ian Stewart will be at third. The rookie Carlos Gonzalez will be in center field. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. And Jason Marquise, a 9-game winner, on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers with 9 victories of his own. And that, of course, would be Chad Billingsley. The 24-year-old did not figure in the decision in the last game he pitched. That was a 13-inning loss to the Chicago White Sox. However, for Chad Billingsley, with 9 victories, he's tied with the Giants' Matt Cain, with his opposing pitcher tonight, Jason Marquise, and the Mets' Johan Santana. In talking about Matt Cain, and you immediately think of the Giants, Randy Johnson started the game for San Francisco tonight against St. Louis. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Giants are leading the Cardinals 6-3. So we'll keep you posted, especially Giants trying to make a move. They're 7 back. Here are the Dodgers with the leather. Loney and Castro for Call and Blake, Pierre, Kemp, and Ethier, and the battery of Billingsley and Ellis. So both the starting second baseman Orlando Hudson and the regular catcher Russell Martin sit this one out, or at least at the start. So Juan Castro, who last played to give Rafael Furcal a rest at shortstop, now moves over to play second base. Coming up now will be Seth Smith out of Jackson, Mississippi, and he's ready to start it off. For Colorado last night, their lineup from the top, the number 1 spot, down through the 6th spot, just 2 for 30. And if you remember, the Dodger bullpen was magnificent last night. In 7 scoreless innings, the Dodger bullpen struck out 13. So Seth Smith starts it off instead of Dexter Fowler, and he takes the strike. Smitty well put together, 6'3", 225. B27. He was the backup quarterback behind Eli Manning at the university. He hits a rope, and it is stabbed at and caught by Juan Castro. So Seth Smith robbed of a base hit and a fine one-handed reaction by Castro. So suddenly a line drive out, 1 away, and Clint Barmas coming up. So the Dodgers playing very good ball in every facet of the game. And certainly don't miss the defense. They have been brilliant on that score. So now here is Clint Barmas, the right-hand hitting second baseman. He takes low, ball 1. Barmas last night had a long night. He went 0 for 6, striking out once, hitting .282. The 1-0 pitch on the way, in for a strike, and the count 1-1. In looking at Barmas and checking him against Billingsley, Barmas is 2 for 4 in the past with a run batted in. Chad ready in the 1-1 pitch, and that's swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. So Chad Billingsley 1-0. He beat Colorado earlier this year, and he is 2-2 lifetime. Billingsley ready in the 1-2 pitch on the way, high and tight to move Barmas off the plate, and the count 2-2. On deck, Todd Helton. Helton is not in the on-deck circle. He is about halfway between the on-deck circle and home plate. The 2-2 pitch on the way, and that's whacked into left center base hit, and that's going to go to the wall. Matt Kemp over to pursue it, and by that time Barmes is into second base. So a line drive out on a fine play by Castro, followed by a line drive double. And now Helton and Hop coming up. Fastball just below the knees, and Barmes went down to get it and drilled it all the way to the wall. So a runner at second with one out. 18 doubles for Barmes this year. And here is Todd Helton batting .313, 9 home runs, 53 runs batted in. So the veteran left-hand hitting first baseman has a look at a strike, and the count 0-1. Matching Helton against Billingsley, you find that Helton is holding his own. There's nothing new there. Hitting .357 against Billingsley. One out, first inning. We're just starting. No score in the ball game, but Clint Barmes has just doubled. Billingsley hides the ball back of his right hip as he looks in to get a sign. Now Chad ready, and his strike one pitch over the top, and he's low and inside, scooped out nicely by A.J. Ellis, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. For Chad Billingsley, in looking over his last 3 games, and over that stretch, he's gone 7 innings and 6 innings twice. But in those 3 games, he has had only 3 strikeouts in each game. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Helton tries to golf it, beats it into the dirt, and the count 1-2. So Todd Helton, the franchise, signed through 2012. Remarkable athlete. As we talked about Smith backtracking Eli, Todd was the backup quarterback to Peyton Manning. 1-2 the count with Barmes at second and 1 out. Billingsley looks back at second, now to the plate, and it's grounded foul outside of first and down the line. Chad Billingsley has had as many as 11 strikeouts, but that was way back early in April, and he has 9 a couple of times. But it is interesting against Texas, the Angels, and the White Sox, the 3 American League teams, where he was perhaps pretty unfamiliar with the hitters. He had only 3 strikeouts in each game. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, a little pop fly into shallow right. Castro going out and makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Throws back to second, not in time. But we've barely started the ball game, and everybody knows Juan Castro is in the game. First, he spears the line drive by Smith. Now he goes into shallow right field, angling towards the foul line, and makes the over-the-shoulder one-hand catch, and then quickly tries to get the ball back in the infield to double up Barmes. So Castro has perhaps saved 2 hits already, and the batter now is Brad Hop. Meanwhile, Orlando Hudson getting a well night off and has to marvel at Castro, because everybody has always marveled at Castro's defensive abilities. Billingsley delivers, and the pitch runs inside. Ball 1, 1-0. How about Billingsley and Hop? After all, Brad Hop wears the Dodgers out. He's doing very well against the lead, hitting .327, 12 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Billingsley out of a stretch. Hop backs off the pitch inside, and a 2-0 count. Going into last night's game, Brad Hop was hitting .397 with runners in scoring position, and he had just 1 shot under those circumstances, and he was 0 for 1. That was in the 6th inning. So now he's challenged with Barmes at second. The 2-0 pitch, and Brad takes low, ball 3, 3-0. Hop is hitting .375 against Chad Billingsley, and the last we checked, he was hitting about .350 against the Dodgers in his career. Troy Tulowitzki on deck. 3-0 the count. Certainly nothing automatic here. Billingsley knows it. The 3-0 pitch is taken on the outside corner for a strike. Fastball, not a pitch that Hop felt he could pull, so he let it go by. 3-1 to Brad. Big boy out of Texas, went to school at LSU. No score, first inning. Two fine defensive plays by Castro. 3-1 pitch, and Hop takes low and inside, ball 4. So the Rockies have runners at first and second, and the batter will be Troy Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki hitting .294 against Billingsley with a home run, hitting .257 against the league. Has done pretty well in coming back. When we saw Troy earlier this year in Colorado, he was really struggling, but the last couple of weeks he has lifted his batting average, and he has shown some power with the 12 home run. 2 on, 2 out, first inning, no score, and Billingsley's fastball is in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So the Rockies, who would be deviled by the thought they could not come up with a base hit with runners in scoring position, here they are now with another situation. Barmes at second, Hop at first, 2 out, no score. Billingsley will look back at second. Here he comes tight to the knuckles. 1 ball and 1 strike. So he's sending a message to Tulowitzki. Both pitches well in on top of him. 1 for a strike. 1-1 to Troy. Northern California boy who went to school down here at Long Beach State. 1-1. Tulo waiting. He swings a drive right down and short, hot by Castro to throw him out. So Juan has a big hand in the first inning. And for the Rockies, no runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of half an inning, ably abetted by Juan Castro's glove. And we'll take a look now at the Dodger lineup. Juan Pierre, Rafael Furcal, and Andre Ethier, followed by Casey Blake, James Loney, and Matt Kemp. Then Juan Castro, A.J. Ellis, and Chad Billingsley. On the mound, a New York boy from out on the island, Manhasset, Long Island, although he went to school at Tottenville High School in Staten Island. Jason Marquis making his first pitch to Pierre, in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Marquis 6'1", 210. He'll be 31 on the 21st of August. Veteran right-handers strike 1 pitch on the way, and that's swung on. Ground ball to the right side. Barmes easy play to take care of Pierre. So we have 1 away in the bottom of the first inning on this beautiful evening. We can take a look at Colorado and the Rockies defensively. Helton, Barmes, Tulowitzki, and Stewart. Smith, Gonzalez, and Hoff in the outfield, and Marquise and Iannetta the batter. And coming up now, Rafael Furcal. Temperature at the start of the game, 73 degrees. We are talking about how the 1 through 6 lineup struggled for the Rockies last night. Outside of Juan Pierre, the Dodgers had a problem. Slap bunt, but Stewart's on it to throw out Furcal. So Rafael trying to bunt towards short, Only Stewart cut him off at the pass.
Right fielder,
and with 2 down in the
Andre.
first inning, the batter is Andre Ethier. Kind of missed the magic of late. The Dodgers have had 9 walk-offs so far this year, and Ethier has been involved in 4 of them. One a walk-off single. That was in the 9th inning. Then he had a walk-off double in the 9th inning. He had a home run in the 12th inning against Philadelphia. And for good measure, he had that home run in the 13th inning last night, as he just did clear the right field wall. So Ethier checks in, and they load up the right side on him, and Andre takes a strike. I think it's the first time we've seen the opposition load up against Ethier. So Tulowitzki goes across to the other side to join Barmes and Helton. Outfield has to remain straight away. Marquise ready and delivers, a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason Marquise, growing up in New York, pitched his high school team to 2 straight New York City championships, one in Shea Stadium and the other in Yankee Stadium. So he's accustomed to the spotlight. The 1-1 pitch, Ethier takes away, ball 2, 2-1. And just before he joined the Braves, Marquise came out in relief in a New York City championship game and ended that one with a strikeout. The 2-1 pitch on the way is taken outside, ball 3. Jason Marquise, a first-round draft pick by the Braves. And of course, he learned a lot about the art of pitching hanging out with people like Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz and veteran left-handed Terry Mulholland. 3-1 pitch. Ethier grounds it right to Helton, who takes it to the bag. And so the Dodgers go 1-2-3. For Marquise, that was his kind of an inning. He's basically a sinker ball pitcher. He got 3. Second inning, no score in the ball game. Ian Stewart, Carlos Gonzalez, and then Chris Iannetta going up against Chad Billingsley, who worked hard, made 20 pitches in the first inning, gave up a walk and a double, but he was saved from giving up a run by Juan Castro. Ian Stewart, a local boy, born in Long Beach and lives in Garden Grove, and kind of crowds the plate and takes inside, ball 1. Ian Stewart, 6'3", 205-pounder, only 24 years old. He's really just starting out. A lot of power. 14 home runs, 39 runs batted in, and fouls the next one away. Before he had ever played his first professional game, Stewart made a huge impression on the Rockies. He was taking batting practice at Coors Field with the big club, and Clint Hurdle, the former manager, was pitching BP, and Stewart drove one off the facade of the third deck high up in right field. Stewart takes outside ball 2, and they just don't hit balls there. So he's got some power. Last year he hit 19 in Colorado Springs and 10 for the big club, and he already has 14 this year. He promptly lifts a fly ball into shallow left center. Kemp moves over, and Matt takes care of it. So fly ball, 1 away, second inning. And the batter, Carlos Gonzalez.
You know,
the baseline box clubs
5,
at Dodger
Carlos
Stadium
Gonzalez.
offer a private buffet and seats right up to the action, and that's tomorrow. You can save 30% on tickets at Dodgers.com/business. Join the club with the business lunch special presented by Staples. That was easy. So here is Carlos Gonzalez. Appeared briefly as a pinch hitter last night, and with runners at first and third, struck out. Carlos takes inside, ball 1, 1-0 the count. They're very high on Carlos. He's only 23. Originally signed as a free agent by the Diamondbacks. Fouls it away, 1 ball and 1 strike. He was 16 years old when he signed with the Diamondbacks, and when he finally made it to the big leagues, it was last year with the Athletics. One home run, 4 runs batted in. Left-hand hitter takes a strike, 1-2. He's from Venezuela, from Maracaibo. Left-handed all the way. Gonzalez hit as many as 21 home runs in the low minors. The 1-2 pitch, the young left-hand hitter, is fouled away. Though Gonzalez still there, 1-2. The A's sent Dan Herron and Connor Robertson to the Diamondbacks to get Gonzalez, among others. And then in November, the Rockies sent Matt Holliday to the A's, and among others, they got Houston Street, Greg Smith, and Gonzalez, who swings and misses, and down he goes. So 2 out here in the second inning. Strikeout number 1 for Billingsley, and the batter will be Chris Iannetta. Iannetta, right-hand hitting catcher out of Providence, Rhode Island. Excellent defensive catcher, hitting just .232 with 10 home runs, 27 runs batted in. He's only 26, and Iannetta holds up on a pitch low and in, ball 1, 1-0. Rockies are 2 games above 500 at home and 2 games above on the road. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Coming into last night's game, the Rockies had to feel very content with themselves because Jim Tracy had guided them to winning 12 of 14 on the road. That doesn't sound like a Rockies ball club. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, that's hit in the air. Both Pierre and Kemp looking up, but it's Kemp who's the busy man to put it away. So a 1-2-3 inning for Chad Billingsley, and at the end of an inning and a The ball game, the Rockies and Dodgers. Dodgers have beaten Colorado 9 out of 10 times and 5 straight here at Dodger Stadium. Casey Blake followed by James Loney and then Matt Kemp. Remember tomorrow the finale, and it is a 12-10 game, and young Clayton Kershaw will be on the mound against Jason Hamill. Hamill has won 5 in a row. That's at 12-10 tomorrow. Casey Blake hitting .291, 11 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Marquis fastball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Casey in last night's ball game was walked intentionally in the 10th inning, got his first hit of the night in the 13th inning, and Ethier followed with the game-winning home run. Pitch way out and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason Marquis, although he was born in Manhasset, Long Island, grew up in Staten Island. From his home, he could see the World Trade Center and those towers. The pitch down and away, ball 2. More than that, he could look across from his home following September 11. And one of his pals, a teammate on the Little League team in which he played, was a fireman who lost his life. So Jason's been through a lot. 2-1 pitch on the way, and Blake takes off the plate. Ball 3, 3-1. If you ask Jason Marquis what time it is, you might never see the same watch twice. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Casey Blake. Swung on, hit in the air to right field. Back forward and waiting as Brad Hopp makes the catch. Still on the grass. Though a long, lazy fly ball, 1 away. When we say you ask Jason Marquis what time it is, he might have a different watch on. That's his hobby. He has quite a watch collection. Started collecting watches back about 2003 when he could afford them. And he has a nice collection, and he likes to vary which one he'll wear upon what occasion. So 1 away, 2nd inning, and here's James Loney. Loney hitting .277, 5 home runs, 49 runs batted in, and takes a strike. Loney singled off Garrett Atkins' glove last night. He went 1 for 4, did strike out twice. Now Marquis with his strike 1 pitch, and that drops a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. No score, bottom of the 2nd inning. Marquis basically fastball, slider, curve, cutter, and change. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that's slapped into left field, base hit. Well, James Loney goes the other way and singles to left, and the batter will be Matt Kemp. So the Dodgers get their first
number
base
27, Matt
Kemp last night had 1 hit. Kemp, if you were watching last night, had a big steal of second, and then when Jimenez misinterpreted Randy Wolf, hand coming up in the air, and stopped in motion, they called the balk. Kemp was allowed to go to 3rd, and he scored on the base hit by Randy Wolf. So no score, 2nd inning with a runner at first. Kemp has a look at a pitch at the knees on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. Colorado made a big move starting on the 3rd of June. They were 15.5 behind the Dodgers. They arrived last night 7.5 back. The pitch to Kemp is swung on and missed, 0-2. But of course, with the Rockies losing last night, they take the field tonight, trailing the Dodgers by 8.5. Giants hanging tough at 7 back. Last we heard, they were leading the Cardinals 6-3 in the 7th inning. Strike 2 pitch on the way to Loney. He had singled, and Kemp meanwhile swings at a breaking ball and strikes out. So with Loney at first, we have 2 down, and Juan Castro coming up.
Second baseman, number 14.
Juan Castro distinguished himself early in the 1st inning. Seth Smith opened up with a line drive heading to right field, and Juan speared it, diving to his left for the out. Then with Barmes at 2nd and a double, Helton hit a pop fly that looked like it was going to drop into shallow right field. Castro went out and got it. He hits a ground ball to the right side. Barmes feeding Tulowitzki, and that's that. So no runs, a hit, a man left. And at the end of 2, Marquis is getting ground balls, and we're scoreless. And Dodgers. Jason Marquis followed by Seth Smith and then Clint Barmes. One thing about Marquis, he throws right-handed, he writes right-handed, he eats right-handed, and he bats left-handed. And that valuable right arm has a little protective gear covering the elbow. Billingsley ready now to work to him and gets a strike, and the count 0-1. Jason Marquis, pretty good hitter, comes up there with a half a dozen hits, 4 runs batted in, and in 35 plate appearances, he has only struck out 4 times. The Marquis waiting, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. Jason hesitates, takes a pitch for a strike. 1-2 the count to Jason. Now the 1-2 pitch coming up is waved at and missed in the dirt. Ellis picks it up and throws him out. So Marquis becomes strikeout victim number 2. We have 1 out in the 3rd inning, and Seth Smith coming up. Seth Smith hit that bullet that was speared by Castro in the 1st inning. And that was a good thing for Billingsley because Barmes then followed with a double. So Smith waiting at the plate. First RBI he ever got in a major league game was in a postseason game, and he takes ball 1. He had a 2-out 2-run pinch hit double in game 4 of the LCS against Arizona back in 2007. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Seth takes high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. So Smith 0 for 1. Went to the University of Mississippi. Good football player. And the 2-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and popped up. Castro backs out and calls. Backs out a little bit more and makes the catch for the 2nd out. The 2 out in the 3rd. Clint Barmes coming up. You know, bring the family to the stadium July 9th, a Dodger double feature. You can watch the Dodgers and Mets from New York at 4, followed by a special presentation of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, compliments of Warner Home Video. For tickets, call 323-224-2646. And the first pitch now to Barmes, in for a strike. You can also visit Dodgers.com/movie night. Barmes doubled to the gap in left center, hitting a solid .285. Strike one pitch to Clint, swung on and missed. Pitch that was up, fastball, and maybe even away. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Another gorgeous summer's evening as we have run through June into July. And the strike 2 pitch on the way. Billingsley very high, one-handed by Ellis. So 1-2 the count. Orlando Hudson and Russell Martin sitting this one out. Remember, a noon game, actually 12:10 tomorrow. So they take it easy tonight, and they'll be back in action, I'm sure, tomorrow. 1-2 pitch on the way, chased and missed. Barmes gone after a pitch down and way off the plate. So from a double to a strikeout, and at the end of 2.5 innings, no score. No score in the ball game. It'll be the 3rd string catcher, A.J. Ellis, to start it off. Ellis followed by Billingsley and then Pierre. Jason Marquis ready, and the big right-hander's fastball in for a strike. By the way, I misspoke. Automatically you figure, okay, Russell Martin has tonight off, he'll play tomorrow, but that's not the way it's going to be. Martin is off tonight and tomorrow. Brad Osmus will be behind the plate in tomorrow afternoon's game. A.J. Ellis with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Big kid out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, 6'3" and 230. Right-hand batter, takes off the plate, ball 2-2-1. Ellis has been in the minor leagues ever since the Dodgers signed him out of Austin Peay University. The 2-1 pitch, A.J. takes a strike. 2-2 the count. And he made the usual stops. Couple of years in Vero Beach, couple of years in Jacksonville, then Vegas. Came up for 3 at-bats last year, and then went down to Albuquerque this year. Rolls one slowly to Barmes. Clint picks it up and throws him out. So Ellis grounding out to the right side, 1 away, and the batter will be Chad Billingsley.
Number 58, Chad Billingsley.
So A.J. Ellis getting his feet wet in the big leagues, rolls out to the right side, and Chad Billingsley checking in. Billingsley has a half a dozen hits, and in his plate appearances, he's at about 35. He has struck out 11 times, and Chad takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Of course, the Rockies were burned by a pitcher last night. Randy Wolf got a breaking ball. Off-speed curve, single to right to drive in 2 to tie up last night's game. And of course it ran 13. 1-1 the count to Chad Billingsley. Dodgers trying to win their 50th game. This is their 78th game, so we're getting close to the halfway point. Billingsley takes a look at his strike and a 1-2 count. Dodgers are really off to their best start in 77 games since 1977, as Billingsley hits one foul down the line out of play. 1977, the Dodgers were 51-26 when they beat the Giants on the 1st of July. The 77 club, you remember, maybe you don't, but they won the pennant and lost to the Yankees. 1-2 pitch coming up to Billingsley, and it's down and away, backhanded nicely by Iannetta, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Now Marquise turns on the rubber, and the 2-2 pitch on the way is a little puncher right back to Marquise. He flips it over to Helton, and we have 2 down here in the 3rd inning. And for Marquise, he's doing what he has to do in order to win. And remember, he's won 9 games. That is, keep the ball down and get a lot of ground balls. The Dodgers have managed 1 fly ball. That was to right field by Casey Blake. So Marquise ready to work on Pierre, who grounded out to Barmes in the 1st inning. Juan batting .328, 24 runs batted in, has a look at a strike, and the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to count to Juan. Strike 1 pitch to the left fielder is on the outside corner, so he's in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Hitting .329 when he came in. That's good to be 5th in the National League. 3 for 5 last night against Colorado, and takes strike 3 call. So the Dodgers go 1-2-3 in the 3rd. Marquise very much in control, and at the end of 3, no score. Strike 1 to all 10 hitters. You don't usually see that very often. You know, our CarMax text question is, who do you think is the Dodgers player of the month for June? Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, or Casey Blake? Text your answer to 86212 on your cell. It'll be interesting to learn your thinking. Meanwhile, Todd Helton starting it off against Chad Billingsley. Strike 0-1. Helton hit a pop fly into shallow right. Juan Castro made a fine over the shoulder 1-hand catch going away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Todd. Helton long has been the franchise player, signing that huge 9-year deal. Good off-speed pitch for a strike. 1-2. That breaking ball was 61 miles an hour. One and two. In the dirt. When Helton, who's a fine all-around athlete, good football player, and when he was at the University of Tennessee, among other things, he pitched. And they said he would get 87 on the gun and had a very good knuckleball. Two and two. Foul tip held by Ellis. Down he goes. And that's 4 strikeouts for Chad Billingsley. So he's gotten over that 3 strikeout game. He's had 3 in a row. But now he has 4 in 3 1/3 innings. So with 1 out, Brad Hopp, who walked in the first inning, checks in. Brad Hopp has 12 home runs. When he hit his 12th, it also marked the 100th home run of his career, and he hits a fly ball to deep left. Pierre going back. It is gone. So Brad Hopp clears the left field wall. His 13th home run, and it's the Rockies on the board to lead 1-0. He is only the 3rd left-hand hitter to hit 100 or more for the Rockies. Todd Helton, Larry Walker, and now Brad. By the way, for Brad Hopp, who always seems to wear out the Dodgers, that is also his 18th career home run against the Dodgers. So 18 of his 101. So 1-0 Rockies, and here's Troy Tulowitzki, and he hits a fly ball to Ethier. Two down in the 4th inning for Chad Billingsley. That was the 6th home run that he has allowed this year. 1-0 Colorado. Giants trying desperately to make some noise. In fact, with July, August, and September really still ahead of us, don't have to even say desperately, but they just knocked off the Cardinals again, 6-3. So the Giants have won 3 straight, 8 of 11. They are now 8 games above 500. They still struggle on the road, but they're doing fine at home. Randy Johnson was the winner, marking win number 303. Brian Wilson came in to get the save. So the Giants beat the Cardinals. Cardinals are really struggling. They've lost 3 in a row, but they were recently swept a 4-game series at home by Colorado. Off speed, but stayed up a little bit. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 Rockies on Brad Hopp's home run. Stewart flied to center in the 2nd inning. Good fastball, 1-2. Billingsley hits 91 on the gun. The boy from Defiance, Ohio, facing Ian Stewart, went to school at La Quinta High School. And that's going foul outside of 3rd. Stewart, a big 6'3", 205 pounds. 1-2. Waved that badly fooled. Down he goes. 5 strikeouts for Chad Billingsley, but he did surrender the home run to Brad Hopp. And at the end of 3.5, 1-0 Colorado. car buying should be. And by Corona and Corona Light, official sponsors of the Time Out. Relax responsibly. Bottom of the fourth inning, 1-0 Rockies on a home run by Brad Hopp. Interesting, the most home runs he has against any other club is 9, and against the Dodgers, 18. Brad Hopp. Meanwhile, 1 ball and no strikes to Rafael Furcal. Jason Marquis trying to win his 10th. In there, 1-1. Rare for him to miss that first pitch for ball 1, but he came right back with a strike. Ground ball to Barnes. So for call, they tried to bunt his way aboard in the first inning. Grounds out,
number 16,
and the batter will be Andre Ethier, who grounded to Helton in the first inning. Andre, the hero last night with that 13th inning home run. Dodgers have really been dramatic when you think not only this year with 9 walk-off wins, but if you go back to last year and count them up, they have 17 walk-offs. Beltre had 8 walk-off home runs over a 5-year period when Adrian played here. 1-1 the count to Andre Ethier. Jose Lopez had just left here, and Melky Cabrera. Ground ball, and they've positioned that picket fence, so that'll be that. Tulowitzki takes care of him. 2 down. You don't get everything you want on your next trip to Dodger Stadium with 3 tickets, Dodger dogs, sodas, t-shirts, hats, a beach bag full of souvenirs, peanuts, and parking, starting for $99. Visit Dodgers.com/specials or call 866-DODGERS and get more compliments of the Dodgers and JetBlue. Here's Casey, fly deep to right in the second inning. Strike. In fact, his fly ball to right is the only fly ball so far hit against Jason Marquis. 1-0 Colorado, bottom of the fourth. Ground foul. 0-2 to Casey. Blake hitting .290, 11 home runs, 48 runs batted in. And 2. Fly ball to right field. Again, Brad Hopp is there. So Casey Blake has the only 2 fly balls. Jason Marquis breezing, allowing just 1 hit. And at the end of 4, 1-0 Colorado.
dinner and a limo for two. Tonight's winning combination is 81-31-12. Enter now on KCAL9.com, brought to you by Wingstop.
1-0 in favor of Colorado on the home run by Brad Hobb. Now it'll be Carlos Gonzalez, who struck out in the second inning. 0-1 the count. Gonzalez has had 2 plate appearances, one last night and tonight, striking out each time. One and one. Last night, Dexter Fowler played center field. Tonight they look to Gonzalez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, Billingsley really starting to break off some dandies. He has struck out 5. Big 12-6 breaking ball. 1-2. And another one. And that'll do it. A punch out for Gonzalez. 6 strikeouts for Chad Billingsley. Up there and then down there. Perfect breaking ball. Though he has struck out 3 of the last 5 hitters, 4 of the last 6. So he's on the beam. And here's Chris Iannetta, who flied to center in the second inning. 1 out, 1-0 Rockies, 5th inning. Though he comes back with a fastball to Iannetta. That had a little run to it, too. That just started to move off the plate. 0-1. I'm sure a lot of the Rockies management would look at Chad Billingsley and think he reminds them of their own right-hander that had the same physical structure. Remember Jason Jennings. Line drive, but it's slicing right to Castro. 2 down in the 5th inning. For the Dodgers, and looking at they have going, yes, Juan Castro trying not to smile. It'll be Jason Hamill and Clayton Kershaw tomorrow here. Then the Dodgers go south after Thursday's off day. Open up Friday night in San Diego. Hiroki Kuroda and Chad Gaudin. And from all intents and purposes, Manny Ramirez will be in that game Friday night. It's Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Then after the Padres series, the Dodgers will travel to New York for 3, and then Milwaukee for 3, and then the All-Star break. All-Star game will be held in St. Louis. 0-1 to Jason Marquez. Back in 2005, Jason Marquez was quite a hitter. In fact, in 2005, he had 27 hits. Former Dodger pitcher Rick Rhoden, about 25 years ago, had 28 hits. Then there was a left-hand pitcher named Jim Rooker of the Pirates who had 29. And the last pitcher to have 30 base hits in a year, Catfish Hunter. Back in 1971, he had 36 hits. Off speed, 2-2. Also, in 2005, Marquez led pitchers. He had 10 extra base hits. 2-2. Breaking ball gets him. So 7 strikeouts for Chad Billingsley, and at the end of 4.5 innings, it's still 1-0 Colorado. Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of L.A. And by Lexus and the newly expanded IS line. Now there's one more way to live a little, a lot. Rockies lead the Dodgers 1-0 on a home run by Brad Hopp. Chad Billingsley, that had 3 strikeouts in each of his last 3 starts against the American League, suddenly has 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. And as I mentioned, if you total the others, he had 9 strikeouts in 3 games. So he's very much on the beam. He has struck out 3 of the last 4, but he's still shy of Buck. It's 1-0 Colorado. Jason Marquis pitching to Loney, Kemp, and Castro in that order. One run, 2 hits for the Rockies, and no runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. Fastball, strike, outside corner at the knees. Last year, left-handers hit only .241 against Marquis. Ground ball, Helton backhands it, takes it to the bag. So there's been 2 fly balls hit by the Dodgers. Casey Blake hit both of them, and both of them wound up in the glove of Brad Hopp in right field. The Dodger hit, James Loney single to left field. That's it. Matt Kemp struck out in the 2nd inning. So Matt is 0 for 1. Fastball lifted into right field. Brad Hopp looks up into that almost purple sky. 2 down. And the batter will be Juan Castro. The 3 fly balls so far against Marquis in 4 2/3 innings. Juan Castro hit into a force play in the 2nd inning. Castro from Los Mochis in Mexico, lives over in Glendale, Arizona. Serenaded with a little mariachi music, and Juan a strike. 0-1. To Castro, hitting .339. That's a strike. 0-2. Marquis has allowed 1 hit. He has struck out 2, no walks. Billingsley has walked 1. He has struck out 7. Little bouncer right back to Marquis. So the Dodgers go over. That's 11 in a row retired since the base hit by Loney. And at the end of 5, 1-0 Rockies. Sandy Koufax was pitching here at Dodger Stadium against the New York Mets. Richie Ashburn led off the game, struck out on 3 pitches. An infielder named Rod Keneal came up to bat, struck out on 3 pitches. A veteran outfielder by the name of Frank Thomas came up to the plate, struck out on 3 pitches, and you knew Sandy was up to something. Sure enough, a no-hitter against the Mets. Let's go back to this one. Brad Hopp made it 1-0 Colorado, and here we go into the 6th. 1 ball and no strikes to Seth Smith. Lined out, popped up. 2 chances for Castro. Two and 0 the count. So Smith, Barmes, and Helton in that order. Dodgers have won 9 out of 10 from Colorado and 5 straight here at Dodger Stadium. In fact, the only game the Dodgers lost to Colorado this year was against Jason Marquez. Last year, the Dodgers won 10 of the 18. Three and 1 the count to Seth Smith, leading off here in the 6th. And a strike at the corner. Billingsley throwing 92, 93, and runs the count all the way. Breaking ball, full foul. Still 3-2. Smith, Barmes, Helton. If anybody gets on, Brad Hopp. So down goes Seth Smith. That's 8 strikeouts now for Chad Billingsley and the batter Clint Barmes. Well, here's a look at how our CarMax text message voting is going so far. Remember, we asked who's the Dodger player of the month for June. Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, or Casey Blake. So far, 58% say Andre Ethier, 28% Casey Blake, 14% Matt Kemp. Text your answer 86212 on your cell. Interesting to know you're thinking. That's a strike to Barmes, 0-1. Breaking ball, a slow hit ball to Casey Blake. 2 down. Chad Billingsley with 8 strikeouts.
First baseman,
You have to go back to June the 3rd when he was pitching against Arizona. That was a tough game. He won it 1-0, and he struck out 9 in 6 innings. Well, he has 8 in 5 2/3 tonight, but he's losing 1-0 this time. Here's Helton. Popped up, struck out, 0 for 2. Todd is 0 for 6 in the series. Did walk once last night. And batting .311. 9 home runs, 53 runs batted in. And drives it to center, but it's playable. Kemp is there. So Billingsley has now retired 8 in a row since Hoff's home run, but it remains Rockies 1, Dodgers 0. Infinity luxury cars that inspire at every turn. And by Carl's Jr. Try a Carl's Jr. $6 burger made with 100% Black Angus beef. 1-0 Rockies, bottom of the 6th inning. A.J. Ellis, Chad Billingsley, and Juan Pierre. Jason Marquis has only made 49 pitches, and he's gotten the first pitch strike now to 15 of 17. Doesn't get much better than that. He's also had 10 ground ball outs. Little roller fielded there by Stewart to get him. 1 out.
Special pitcher number 58, Chad Billingsley.
12 in a row retired by Marquis since he only hit single to left by Loney in the 2nd inning. Bill Billingsley hit back to the box in the 3rd inning. There's a strike. So 16 of 18 first pitch strikes. One and one. When Jason Marquis beat the Dodgers, it was not a well-pitched game. Final score was 10-4. They kind of beat up on Kershaw. Though Clayton, who came back to beat the Rockies the end of May, will be on the mound tomorrow at noon against Jason Hamill. 1-2. See you later. Though Marquis just sailing along, still leading 1-0. You know, you stay connected with the Dodgers and Dodger fans around the world at Dodgers.com/connect. You can become a fan on Facebook, follow on Twitter, or get inside the Dodgers with their front office blog. Find all these and more at Dodgers.com/connect and stay connected to your favorite team. 16 out of 18 first pitch strikes. And ground ball to the right side. Boy, Marquis is making it look so easy. After the base hit by Loney, he's gotten everybody. And at the end of a quick 6, 1-0 Rockies. It started with Carlos Gonzalez, then Jason Marquis, picked up against Clint Barmas, and then wore out Helton, followed by Ian Stewart. Then Gonzalez again, Marquis again, and finally Seth Smith. So we go to the 7th inning, but it's still 1-0 Rockies. Billingsley, striking out 8, has walked 1. Marquis has just retired the last 14 in a row since the base hit by Loney. Brad Hopp is the difference. Walked in the 1st inning, homered to left field in the 4th. When Brad was in junior college, he was determined to go to LSU. And he actually called the director of athletics at LSU and said, "I'm good enough to play for you." Well, LSU was going to look at a kid pitcher whom they had just signed to a scholarship. And they went to see that pitcher, and Brad Hopp played in the game. How'd he do? He had 4 hits, including a couple of doubles. And the next day, he got a call back from the director. LSU would like to have you play for them. 2-1. Pitch fouled away. LSU has always had a marvelous baseball program, and this year they won the College World Series, beating up the University of Texas. So a lot of fine young players have worn the flannels of LSU. 2-2. Little hopper into left field. So Brad Hopp kind of jammed after hitting a home run to left field. Now singles to left field.
Batting next, shortstop, number 2, Troy Tulowitzki.
He is absolutely, to use a Sandlot expression, he is unconscious against the Dodgers with 18 career home runs. Troy Tulowitzki grounded out, fly to right. Tulo hitting .255. And a little bunt foul. 0-1 the count. Tulowitzki broke in with a bang as a rookie at 24 home runs, which broke Ernie Banks' rookie shortstop record. Nomar Garciaparra has the all-time rookie shortstop home runs. He hit 30, did Nomar, back in '97. 0-1. The other thing for Tulowitzki in that rookie year, he had an unassisted triple play against the Braves. Only the 13th in history and the 6th in the last 80 years. So he really broke in with a bang. Struggled a bit by comparison last year. 0-2. Fouled away. Tulowitzki tells a story when he was in the 5th grade. His teacher asked each child what they wanted to do for a living when they grew up. He wrote that he wanted to be a baseball player, and the teacher, Mr. Walker, gave him back the paper and told him to write something realistic. 0-2. In the dirt, rolls behind Ellis, and down to second goes Hopp. Amazingly, about 2 decades later, Mr. Walker showed up at one of Tulowitzki's games in San Francisco with the same questionnaire that he had filled out in the 5th grade. And Mr. Walker asked Tulowitzki to sign it, and he told him, the teacher telling the student, "You've taught me that if a kid wants to do something, to not ruin his dreams, but to let him go for it." And here is Tulo. 1-2 with the wild pitch. Hops at second. Fastball, slow roller to short for call. Looks and then goes to first just in time. It was a temptation to go to Casey Blake. And with an arm like Furcal, and only with that kind of an arm, can you look that closely. Watch this. There's Hopp. There's Furcal looking, and Tulo runs very well, and he just got him. So a runner at third, 1 out, 1-0 Rockies. We're in the 7th. The infield is halfway as Ian Stewart checks in. And ball 1. Stewart flied to center and struck out. Last night, in the 10th inning, the Rockies certainly had a great chance to win. They had first and third and nobody out. And Gonzalez, Fowler, and Barnes all struck out against Jeff Weaver. And here's Billingsley with 8 strikeouts, certainly trying to get a 9th. And ball 2. On deck, Carlos Gonzalez, a left-hand hitter who's had 3 at-bats in the series and struck out all 3 times. Two and 0. Stewart, 14 home runs, 39 runs batted in. And for Jim Tracy, he would be satisfied with a fly ball. Stewart has 2 sacrifice flies. So Ian with a chance to get his club up 2-0. Brad Hobb homered back in the 4th to left field, and then Hopp single to left here in the 7th inning. A wild pitch was very important. Without the wild pitch, Tulowitzki's ground ball would have been a double play. Honeycutt out there to talk to Chad, and it might very well be asking, how do you feel about pitching to Stewart, or just walking him and going after Gonzalez and Iannetta? When you are the so-called bell cow, when you are the ace of the staff, a lot of times they'll do that. So let's see. 2-0 to count to Ian Stewart. Billingsley and Stewart have not faced each other very often. Stewart was 1 for 8, so he is 1 for 10, and they're going to go after him. Ball 3, nice save by Ellis. No swing, says Bruce Beckman. 3-0 the count to Ian Stewart. Well, if you're Jim Tracy and you have a kid with a lot of power, and you have a rookie who's been striking out, I was going to say you'd let him swing 3-0, but the Dodgers saying, oh no, you're not going to get that opportunity. We will put him on. So Stewart gets what is now an intentional walk, and the batter will be Carlos Gonzalez, put to the acid test. Struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th. Struck out with a runner at 3rd last night in the 10th inning. Gonzalez, 23 years old, but he's been playing professionally for 7 years. Breaking ball at his feet, 0-1. And looking at his minor league numbers, 2 years in a row, 06 and 7. He struck out over 100 times. 0-1. Big bouncer foul. And I'm sure for Gonzalez, he feels a little pressure now. When you're not only 0 for 3 in the series, and when you have struck out all 3 at-bats, here you are, no balls and 2 strikes. Billingsley hunting for strikeout number 9. And he got it. Well, Gonzalez strikes out 3 times. He's going to school in the big leagues. 9 strikeouts for Chad Billingsley. 3 of them Gonzalez. And the batter, Chris Iannetta. Didn't give him a strike. Just kept bouncing the ball, and the youngster went after it. So with 2 down, Billingsley now works to Iannetta. Yorba Torrealba is not ready to play. but he will be back, and shortly. I'm not sure if you know the story about the other catcher, Jorvit Torbialba, but he had a nightmare happen. 0-1. Torbialba is from Venezuela, and his young son was kidnapped. You know, they knew that Jorvit, major leaguers, making pretty good money, and they kidnapped his young son. Torbialba went to Venezuela, rescued the boy. They're together. They're back here. But he lived through a nightmare, and he is close to coming back. Meanwhile, Ionetta, carrying the load, has flied to center, lined out. Rockies sputtering last night with runners in scoring position. Couldn't connect in the first inning and left Barmes, who had doubled. Now they had Hoff at third with 1 out. Fastball 1-2. Rockies lead 1-0. They have runners at first and third. Billingsley very close to coming up with his 10th strikeout. His high this year, 11 against the Giants in the middle of April. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There goes the runner, and the pitch in the dirt, blocked by Ellis. It'll be a stolen base because Stewart was going, and 2 balls and 2 strikes. So now first base open with a pretty good hitting pitcher, remember, Jason Marquis, who, by the way, tonight has struck out twice. So they will go after Ionetta. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 1-0 Rockies. 7th inning. Three and 2. Torrey flanked by Schaefer on one side, Honeycutt on the other. Well, now what you do 3 and 2 with Ionetta. Do you really go after him? You have first base open and you have Marquis on deck. But despite the fact he put up those big numbers, 27 hits, 2005 is a long time ago. So 3 and 2 to Ionetta. And ball 4. So Marquis struck out in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 5th inning. Jason came in with 6 hits, 1 of them a double, 4 runs batted in. With striking out twice tonight, he has struck out 6 times. And look at that, he even has a slam, 13 RBIs. And ball 1. Interesting, as we mentioned earlier, Marquis pitches right-handed, he eats right-handed, he throws right-handed, but he bats left-handed. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Billingsley working hard in the inning. This is his 25th pitch, and it's promptly hit into left field. 1 run will score. Here comes the 2nd run. Going into 3rd and running right into the tag is Ionetta, and that's that. However, Jason Marquis singles to left field to drive in 2, and at the end of 6.5 innings, 3-0 Rockies. drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. And by your Southern California Ford dealers. See what's new at scforddealers.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the California Lottery 7th inning stretch. One lucky row of fans will receive Super Lotto Plus vouchers, good for a Super Lotto Plus ticket. Please join Nancy B. as we all sing, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
A beautiful evening, a fine, high-spirited crowd, and a whale of a pitching duel with the Rockies taking a 3-0 lead on that big base hit by Jason Marquise, who has thoroughly stifled the Dodgers through 6 innings. In the 7th, Jason, who has allowed 1 hit and has retired the last 14 in a row, going to work. Rafael Furcal tried to bunt for a base hit and also grounded out. 0 for 2 and a strike. It has been remarkable how Jason Marquise has gotten that first pitch for a strike all night long. And he has Furcal now 0 and 2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Brent Leach begins to loosen up. No balls and 2 strikes to Rafael, hitting .239. And a fly ball to left center. Going back on it is Gonzalez. 1 away. Dodger hitters are basically in a hole all night. Billingsley gave up a home run to Hogg and then came right down 3-2 to Iannetta and walked him. And then Marquise, who has had the reputation of being a good hitting pitcher, single to left to drive in 2. Now let's see about Ethier. 18 of 20 first pitch strikes. And a fly ball to center. Gonzo on his horse. And quickly 2 out in the 7th inning. And the batter will be Casey Blake.
Dodgers third baseman, number 23, Casey Blake.
Casey Blake, 2 fly balls to right field. Four years ago, Jason Marquise pitched a 2-hitter against Washington. Now he finally misses, and he's upset at himself, missing a first pitch strike opportunity. 1 ball and no strikes. There's the strike, 1-1. Dodgers have hit 5 fly balls Everything else on the ground. Check swing foul, 1-2. Casey acting like a fellow who had a pitch he can handle and fouled it off. Case of missed opportunity. On deck, James Loney, who has the only Dodger hit back in the second inning. Two and two. Marquise got into the ninth inning against Pittsburgh. That was on the 19th of June. And he went 9 first week in May against the Giants. Trying to win his 10th. Remember that little thing you learned as a kid about the little girl with the curl? When she was good, she was very, very good, and when she was bad, she was horrid. Well, when he won his 9 games, his earned run average is 1.9. A shot up the middle to Barmes. Another ground ball, another out. When he loses, his earned run average is 11.6. And he is winning tonight 3-0. To make it 1-0. And in the 7th inning, Jason Marquise with the bases loaded, single to left to drive in 2. They got Chris Ionetta from Blake feeding to Percall for the tag, but the damage was more than done. So a magnificent 7 for Jason Marquise, allowing 1 hit, retired 17 in a row since the hit. And now it's Smith, Barmes, and Helton in the 8th inning. Ball 1. Smith lined out to second, popped up to second, struck out. 1-1. Seth hitting .291. One and 2. So here is Billingsley. He has struck out 9, and he's losing 3-0. And that's going to go down the line, slicing as she goes foul and back into the stands. Smith 0 for 3, Barmes 1 for 3, and Helton 0 for 3. But then you get to Brad Hopp, who has a walk, a single, and a home run. One ball, two strikes. And there is strikeout number 10 with one out in the 8th inning. Well, here are the final numbers on the CarMax text message question. We asked who is the Dodger player of the month for June. Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, or Casey Blake. 61% of you say Andre Ethier. Ethier with 9, Albert with 14. That's ball 1 to Barmes. Clint doubled to left center, struck out, and grounded out. One ball and no strikes. Fastball fouled away. 1-1 the count. Barmes having a good year, hitting .283. 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Two and one. Barmes' first 2 years for the Rockies, he hit .282 and .289. And then 3 years ago, he was the regular and he hit just .220, but he's fought his way back. That's a strike. So Billingsley pitching a good game under normal circumstances, but not the way Jason Marquis is doing it. Not through 7 anyway. 2-2. So that is strikeout number 11. And the batter will be Todd Helton. Look at the break on this thing. So the batter now, Helton, who has popped up, struck out, flied to center. Nice crowd on hand tonight. The paid attendance seeing Jason Marquis look more like a king. 43,434. 43,434. It was 73 degrees when the game started. Beautiful. And remember, tomorrow maybe spend lunchtime with us. 12-10 game. That's a strike. When the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the 8th inning, they'll have Loney, Kemp, and Castro. 0-2. Billingsley due to bat 5th in the 8th. Two and two. Boy, that thing just suddenly jumped in at the hands. Helton is 0 for 7 in the 2 games. And that's hit in the air. Kemp coming in a hurry, but it's going to drop. So Helton, a little fly ball single. He'll take it. And Brad Hopp coming up. Joe Torre going out to the mound because, among other things, Billingsley is not only losing, but he's starting to make a lot of pitches. He's made 118 pitches. And Joe's going to take the ball from him, I think. Yep. Pat him on the back, and out he goes. So he strikes out 11 and goes out losing 3-0. Just a matter of one fine pitcher being outpitched by the other so far. And as he leaves, it's still 3-0 Colorado. We'll be back. Toyota dealers, Toyota moving forward. And by Carl's Jr. Try a Carl's Jr. $6 burger made with 100% Black Angus beef. Rockies leading 3-0 here in the 8th inning. Chad Billingsley comes out 118 pitches, strikes out 11, but goes out losing and gives the ball to left-hander Brent Leach. Leach is seeing some very good hitters of late. He was called in to pitch to Ichiro, called in last night and struck out Helton, and now he faces the #1 Dodger tormentor in Brad Hopp. Slow breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. Brad Hopp walked in the first inning, homered to left in the 4th, single to left, and scored in the 7th. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brent Leach, 6'5", about 215 pounds. 26 years old, out of Mississippi. Ball 2. Three runs, 5 hits for the Rockies. No runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. A single by Loney to left field way back in the 2nd inning. Well, he's given him everything in the store, and he's gone 3-1. On deck, Troy Tulowitzki. Brent Leach last night pitched the 11th inning, made 10 pitches. Ground ball to Castro, and that'll be that. So we're heading for the bottom of the 8th inning. 17 Dodgers have gone down in a row. Billingsley will leave, and it's 3-0 Colorado. for 7 innings, turned in by Jason Marquis. He's retired 17 in a row. He has retired 15 Dodgers in at-bats of 3 or less pitches. So that's 15 of the 21 outs. He's had 13 ground outs, and through 7 innings, he has only made 67 pitches. So now we'll see if he can keep it up. It'll be Loney, Kemp, and Castro, bottom of the 8th. And that's a foul bunt, so there's that first pitch strike again. Loney slapped a single to left field in the 2nd inning. And that's it. That happened with 1 out. Then Kemp struck out. Castro hit into a force play, and the Dodger offense has not been heard from since. 0-1. 1-1. Down in the bullpen, Matt Daly, who pitched the 8th inning last night, right-hander, begins to warm up. Rockies sorely pressed in the pen. Loney, a high fly ball, but it's playable. Brad Hopp is there. 1 away, and that's 18 in a row retired. And the batter will be Matt Kemp.
Center fielder, number 27, Matt Kemp.
Manny Corpus, an experienced reliever, is on the DL. Houston Street, the closer, pitched 3 straight against Oakland and took a nasty line drive off the right forearm, so I'm not sure if Street can pitch. Certainly couldn't pitch last night. Here's Kemp, struck out, fly to right. And there it is. It's amazing. I mean, you hear about the most important thing is first pitch strike. And he, remarkable. 0-1. Breaking ball, pop fly, might be trouble, but Dexter Fowler is out there now instead of Gonzalez. So 2 down. 21 of 24 first pitch strikes.
Second baseman, number 14.
So with 2 out, Juan Castro. Carlos Gonzalez, who was in center field, is now in left field. And if you're keeping score, put Fowler in Smith's spot. So here's Castro hitting .333. Hit into a force play to Barmes and hit back to the box. And he misses. 1 ball and no strikes. The lad from Los Mochis. One and one. Marquise, it's not that he's overpowering. He has 3 strikeouts. That's going to go foul down the line. 1-2 the count. Final game of the series tomorrow at 12:10 with Jason Hamels and Clayton Kershaw. Well, the boy from Staten Island, Jason Marquise. 2 out, 8th inning, leading 3-0. And that's going to go into right field, base hit. So a 2-out single to right for Juan Castro. That breaks the string. After 19 consecutive outs, a single to right. And Mark Loretta will now come up and bat for A.J. Ellis.
Your attention, please, for the Dodgers. Pinch hitting for Ellis, number 5, Mark Loretta.
Mark Loretta appeared as a pinch hitter in last night's game and grounded out in the 7th inning. By the way, we told you Matt Daly is warming up. We were also talking about Houston Street, and now with 2 out in the 8th inning, Houston Street gets up and begins to loosen up. He has 19 saves. So that's 2 hitters in a row. where Marquis has missed the first pitch strike. 1 ball and no strike. That's in there. He gave up a single alone, retired 19 in a row, and gives up a single to Castro. 1-1 to Mark Loretta. Another strike. Jason Marquis. 6'1", 210. He'll be 31 in August. And a shot up the middle, but there's Barmes to juggle, throws to first, and they get Loretta anyway. That was quite a play for Barmes to be able to keep the ball on the infield and then have enough on the throw to nip Loretta. It hit the mound to slow it down a little bit, and instead of throwing to Tulowitzki, he went to first and got him. And at the end of 8, 3-0 Rockies. And the Dodgers change the battery. Russell Martin will take over behind the plate, bat 9th, which means he will lead off in the bottom of the 9th inning. Guillermo Mota will pick up the pitching, and he will go in the number 8 spot, originally occupied by Ellis, who gave way to the pinch hitter Loretta. Jason Marquis, who needed a little help and got it from Clint Barmes, has made only 80 pitches in 8 innings. Mota last night pitched the 12th inning, retired the side on 10 pitches. He'll be facing Tulowitzki, Stewart, and then Gonzalez. 3-0 Rockies. Dodgers faced with being shut out. Dodgers have been shut out 3 times this year, once at home, twice on the road. Tulowitzki grounded to second, fly to right, grounded to short, 0 for 3, hitting .254. He was 0 for 5 last night. So suddenly came in here red hot, and he's 0 for 8. Three runs, 5 hits for the Rockies. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Little ground ball to Furcal. So Tulo goes 0 for 4 tonight and 0 for 9 in the series. 1 away in the 9th inning.
Third baseman, number 9.
And the batter will be Ian Stewart. Stewart flied to center, struck out, was walked intentionally, stole a base, and scored on that big base hit by Jason Marquise with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. 1 out, 9th inning, 3-0 Rockies. When the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the 9th, they'll have Martin, Pierre, and Foucault. They have a lot of people available in the dugout. Orlando Hudson comes to mind immediately. Then Mitch Jones and the catcher Brad Ausmus, who's going to catch tomorrow. That's a strike. 1-1. So Billingsley went 7 2/3, gave up 3 runs, 5 hits, struck out 11. Second time this year that Chad had 11 strikeouts, nailed the Giants on the 13th of April. 2-1. And that's popped in the air, foul. Martin takes a look, very doubtful, and back in a good 7 or 8 rows. 2-2 the count. Stewart has flied to center, struck out. On deck, talking about striking out, is young Carlos Gonzalez. He's had 4 at-bats in the series, and he struck out all 4 times. 2-2. Foul back. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Carlos Gonzalez waiting again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And ball 3. Billingsley, while he was in there with his 11 strikeouts, walked 3, 1 intentional. The big walk, he went 3-2 to Iannetta and walked him to load the bases, and then Marquise got that huge base hit to left field. So down goes Stewart, striking out a second time. Mota picks up a K. High fastball right there. So Carlos Gonzalez now facing Guillermo Mota. Carlos struck out as a pinch hitter last night in the 10th inning, and has struck out all 3 times tonight. Hitting .213. And a strike. Carlos 23. Be 24 in October. Fouled away. I think Gonzalez going through a nightmare. Every time he comes up to the plate, it's 0-2. One and 2 the count. Usually the pitch that gets him, Mota just showed him a high fastball, but he's been going after breaking balls down in the dirt. Look out. 2-2. That was 95 coming at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Top of the ninth. 3-0 Rockies. Martin, Pierre, and Furcal with Ethier due up 4th in the ninth. Time. You would think it's pretty tough. One thing to be sitting in the dugout all night and then be asked to pinch hit, or you're sitting in the dugout all night and you're asked to play defensively. Probably the toughest of all, sitting in the dugout all night just to suddenly strap on the gear. Two and two. Wouldn't bite. 3-2. Hadn't really thrown him a breaking ball. All fastballs. 3-2 to Gonzalez. And another one. Pop foul. Very doubtful. No play. $43,437 taken in the ball game. 3-2 to Carlos Gonzalez, the man from Maracaibo. Pulled foul, so he's still there. Jason Marquise alongside of his skipper Jim Tracy. He had the huge hit as well as pitching an absolute gem. And that's popped up, and this time it's playable. Casey Blake. So Moda comes in, retires the side in the ninth. So Jason Marquise ready to go out there against Martin, Pierre, and Furcal, leading 3-0. Nothing. Jason Marquise has pitched a 2-hitter through 8 innings. The lowest pitch counts this year for a 9-inning complete game. Luke Hocherar in the American League made 80 pitches. In the National League, Bronson Arroyo made 92. And Marquise begins the 9th inning having made 80 pitches. He is 10-9 lifetime against the Dodgers. He is 4-4 in his career here at Dodger Stadium. And he has been brilliant. So now it'll be Russell Martin, Juan Pierre, and Rafael Furcal. Keep track of that first pitch strike. There it is. Martin hitting .247, 1 home run, 21 runs batted in, rested tonight. He's also resting tomorrow. Little nubber, Marquise, just like that. 2 pitches, 1 out.
Number 9.
And the batter is Juan Pierre. Pierre grounded to second, struck out, grounded out again. Dodgers with 2 hits. James Loney singled to left field with 1 out in the 2nd inning. And Juan Castro singled to right field with 2 out in the 8th. The only other tough play was turned in by Clint Barnes. The bunt foul. That was the ball where Loretta hit what looked like a base hit. It hit the side of the mound to slow it down a little bit. Barmes went behind the bag and knocked it down. Did not give the ball to Tulowitzki because Castro was coming into the bag. And Clint made an off-balance throw to Helton just in time. Ground ball to Helton. Well, down goes Pierre. And the Dodgers 1 out away from being thoroughly shut out. Not only 2 hits, they did not get a man to second base. Marquise did not walk anybody. So this is about as good a game as we've seen all year. And now for call. Strike. That's clockwork. That first pitch strike. That's the #1 commandment. 23 out of 28 first pitch strikes. And look at here. He's going to be done for the night and picks up his 10th win. And I'm telling you, that was a gem. Jason Marquise from Manhasset, Long Island, and New York, and Staten Island, without a doubt, is the player of the game. I mean, brilliant really doesn't sum him up. For the Rockies, 3 runs.